Hey everyone, this is Charlie, and you're watching The Burrow. So what I want to talk to you about today is inspiration. Maybe because I read too much Greek and Roman literature as a kid that talked too much about the Muses and inspiration and things like that, when I finally made the decision to pursue writing as a career, right? I always thought for the longest time that I had to be inspired to really sit down and get anything good on the page. The fact of the matter is, however, once I actually did start writing professionally, I found that inspiration, while it's an actual thing, if you rely upon it, it's going to destroy your confidence, and there's a good chance it's actually going to destroy your career, in some cases before it ever gets started. My first real writing job, and I mean beyond just sort of the freelance editing jobs every now and then, was working for an SEO company, right? And the way that works out as a full-time writer is you put out 10 to 12 articles a day for varying topics, right? Every single morning I had to show up at around the same time, right? I had to show up in the morning and I had to hit my quota. I had to sit down, I had to be there, otherwise I didn't get paid, and guess what? That means I don't eat. One of the problems that I think we face in the creative community is that when we're dealing with our own projects, we lack the willpower maybe to hold ourselves to the same standards. When inspiration strikes, it's important that you have a way to record it, right? I like to just carry around a notebook still and write it down. There's plenty of apps on the phone that you can use to sort of capture the lightning in the bottle. But what I want to offer you is just some really quick, really simple, probably often repeated tips for people who are ready to stop relying so much on inspiration and to start getting serious about their writing. And the first thing, of course, is discipline. What I mean by discipline is taking the time to sit down at about the same time every morning and hit your self-imposed quota, right? How you come up with your quota is completely up to you. You can just be arbitrary and say, okay, I want to write 500 words today. I want to write 500 words every day. Or by setting long-term goals for yourself that maybe you want to hit 10,000 words by the end of 2 weeks or something like that, right? And then you can divide it up and attack that accordingly. But the important thing for you is to actually sit down. Sit down with your notebook or with your computer, however you prefer to write, and actually do it. And this may not be the best advice at the end of the day, but I think if you can just get in the habit of sitting down, maybe for the first couple weeks you don't write anything, but if you can get in the habit of sitting down at your desk, even just staring at the computer screen like a fool for an hour or something, eventually I think that habit will turn into something else. And of course, tied directly to discipline is having routine. This is something I talked about with Emily the other day on the live stream, which you should check out. And that routine is such an important part of this, right? Like, if writing can be the first thing you do every morning, or it can be the thing you do after you run or when you get out of the shower or whatever, and you develop those routines, it's going to become more natural for you, even on the days that you don't really feel like putting anything out, to go to your particular spot. And that's something I really want to highlight when talking about routine, is that yeah, the goal is important, having your quota is important, having your time is important, but also having your space set aside that is just for getting your work done, I think is hugely, hugely important. For example, I have a super messy desk over there, which I use for editing down YouTube videos, both for this channel and my other channel. But I also recently purchased a small desk that's over there. It has all my writing books, all my Japanese study books and things like that, so that I have a place where it's just for work, right? That's where I go if I'm doing research for short stories, or I'm doing research for novels or whatever, where I'm editing, where I'm actually putting out the words, right? So if you really want to stop relying so much on inspiration and actually get some work done and actually make some progress with your goals, on your writing goals, on your drawing goals, and whatever the case may be, stop relying on the Muse. The Muse doesn't love you enough to come visit you every day. Hate to tell you that, she's kind of a jerk. Develop that discipline, develop that routine, and I think you'll find that not only will you be happier just as a creative person, but you'll actually start to find more and more success living your life that way. So if you like this video, guys, if you want to hear more about writing, some tips about writing, some problems that I've experienced, please go ahead and like this video, subscribe to The Burrow. Gonna have a lot more interesting stuff coming your way pretty soon, and thanks always for watching, guys. Go write something awesome.